What is up, everybody? Review Man here, and today I am reviewing episode number 1 of 83 of The Walking Dead Days Gone By. And in this episode, it's the very first episode in which we see Officer Rick Grimes kill his very first walker. Now, if you don't know what a walker is, you don't know what The Walking Dead is, and then why are you watching this video? But anyway, if you don't, I'm going to fill you in on everything Walking Dead related. And in this episode, Rick kills his very first walker, which is actually the little girl. No, actually, that's the second walker. It was actually this little girl that he doesn't know the zombie apocalypse already has happened. And so, yeah. And this episode is about Officer Rick Grimes and his buddy Shane. They're sitting in this car on duty, and then they get this call that this chase has happened down the road. And so what they do is they go set up a roadblock, and while they're in a gunfire, Rick gets shot, and he ends up in the hospital and ends up in this coma while his buddy Shane is visiting him every day, bringing him flowers that they brought from the precinct. And so yeah, then Rick wakes up. He doesn't know the zombie apocalypse has happened, and he's walking through the hospital. He's like, nurse, what's going on? What's going on? He's checking the phone and everything, and he's like, what's going on? He doesn't know. And so he looks in this door in the hospital, and it says don't open, dead inside. But if you've seen the first episode, it says don't dead open inside. It's crazy. But anyway, that's besides the point. And then yeah. So he's walking out the door, and he's checking the phone and nothing. And he sees like all these dead bodies on the where they laid them all out on the loading dock of the hospital. And he's just walking down the road, just walking. And then he comes upon this person. He's like, help me. No, first he gets this bike, and then he sees this walker. He takes the bike from the walker because he then meets the walker known as Bicycle Walker. And if you know Bicycle Walker, it's from the very first episode, which I'm reviewing right now. And so he's like, then he sees his old house, but he sees his old house. He's like, where is he? No. Then they run in. He runs into he's sitting on the side of the road. He's like, where is he? He's like, excuse me, sir. And then this dude, then next thing we see is old Rick gets hit in the head with a shovel. And he's like, Dad, I got him. Carl, I found you. He's like, Daddy, he called me Carl. Daddy, son, they don't speak. And this dude is one of Rick's closest friends throughout the entire series. Morgan. He meets Morgan and Dwayne. Morgan and Dwayne, they lost their wife and son, wife and mother to the because she was a walker. And Morgan is how Rick finds out that the walkers and the zombie apocalypse has happened. And so what Rick does is and they're talking. He takes Morgan and Dwayne to the police station so they can clean up and get like weapons and stuff to defend themselves in the zombie apocalypse. Because if you're going to be in a zombie apocalypse, you need weapons. We'll see what time we're at. 4 minutes. And yeah, if you're in the zombie apocalypse, you need weapons. And Rick gives him a piece of advice that says, Dwayne a piece of advice that says, don't fire a gun unless you mean it. And the ammunition goes really fast especially during target practice. And so yeah. And Morgan and Rick says to Morgan right before they leave the police station and leave each other, I'm going to be broadcasting every day. I'm going to be broadcasting every day on this emergency channel. I'll keep in contact with you. And Morgan's like, that sounds good. And then Morgan and Dwayne, they go back to the house. And Morgan is firing off target practice and shooting all these walkers out in front of the house until he sees his wife. And he's about to shoot his wife, and he's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And Dwayne's like downstairs, he's like saying prayers, and he's trying to drown out the volume, the sound of the guns. And Rick is like, this is Rick Grimes. I'm heading into Atlanta on the highway. If anybody can hear me, please respond. He does it like 3 or 4 times until we see this. Until we see that these couple people, these couple survivors in this camp, and then they're like, okay, we can hear you, barely coming through, but we can hear you. And that turns out to be Dale, one of the coolest dudes in The Walking Dead. Shane, Rick's partner. And he's like, this is Shane. Unknown person, please respond. And so, yeah. And then we also get to meet Lori and Carl for the first time, which in every single episode that I'm reviewing, though, there's a little gag going on in the show. A little gag that says, Carl, where's Carl? You seen Carl? Carl, we ain't no Carl. And with each review, I'm going to review the Carl count for each episode. This so happens the Carl count for Days Gone By is 10. Because Carl's name was said 10 times. And then Lori, not knowing that Rick is alive, she's having an affair with Shane. And then that's going to come in handy later on in the storyline. And then, yeah. Then you see them having an affair. And then Rick goes into Atlanta. And he's trying to find, like, gas and all that. He gets out of his car and he gets on a horse. Which I think is, yeah, which he gets on a horse, which is like first or second, I think there was like 3 or 4 different horse rides in the show. So, yeah, he gets on the horse. He's riding into town. He gets all these weapons. And, no, before that, he goes to the bicycle walker. And he says to the bicycle walker, I'm sorry this happened to you. Pulls out his gun. Shoots the walker. And, yeah. Shoots the walker. Keeps on going. And then the last thing we see in this episode is Rick riding the horse into Atlanta. And as the horse is walking along, you see these walkers and all this stuff. It's attracting walkers. And he's saying, and he's just walking along. He starts going a little bit faster. And he starts riding the horse this way because Rick sees a helicopter up in the sky somewhere. And he sees the helicopter. He tries following the helicopter. He goes this way. There's like a street full of walkers. And then he takes and then the walkers are surrounding him. The horse is down. The walkers kill the horse and eats the horse. And then Rick climbs up in this tank. And he's contemplating killing himself. And then he hears this voice on the radio that says, hey, dumbass. Yeah, you in the tank. You cozy in there? And then that's where it ends. Is the whole episode is it pans out and you see like all these walkers and stuff killing the horse and surrounding the tank. And so, yeah, that was episode 1 of Days Gone By. I got 82 episodes left. So, yeah, keep on joining me through each episode that I'm going to review of The Walking Dead. This is episode 1. I'm the review man. And I hope to see y'all guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And welcome my new subscribers. Peace out, guys. Bye.